Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 dipping techniques to help elevate your game to the next level. So number 1 is going to be the 45-degree angle. Now, of course, this one is definitely going to be the most popular. Of course, you definitely want to do this on just about every single part that you're dipping, but very simple. You do not want to go down straight down into the water. You want to go at a 45-degree angle most of the time to make sure that all this air escapes out of the part as you're going down into the water. So in a case like this, that's not, of course, flat. You want to take this and put it at about a 45-degree angle and then go down at close to about a 45-degree angle going inward. So you help feed that film all the way up into the part, and that way you get as good of a dip as you can with the least amount of stretch. So number 2 is going to be rolling. Now this is definitely popular with the cups. And so usually to get the best look out of a cup, you want to make sure that you do number 1, you come in at a 45-degree angle and then come down. And then of course you do this technique right here where you're going to actually roll the cup into the film, so then that way you get the least amount of stretch and you get the best look overall. So something cylindrical like this right here, that's going to be where the rolling comes in the best. Number 3 is going to be going straight down with the object. So some of y'all may recall a previous video that we did where we actually dipped a baseball. So of course, with dipping a cylindrical, more rounded object like this, there's not really a way to roll it because you get a weird look and all that. So the only way that we could get this to come out the best is going straight down. Now again, this is a very unique dip because most of the time you're not dipping round objects like this, but in this case we had to. And so of course we stuck it right here at the very top, we held it, and then we literally just went straight down and right back up. So in some rare cases, you will be going straight down if you have an object like this. Number 4 is going to be feeding the part into the material. So of course we have already covered number 1, which was of course keeping it at the 45-degree angle, but you also want to make sure, like in this case, you want to feed the part into the material so that way you create the least amount of stretch possible for the part itself. So in a case like this, you might have, for instance, a wheel or even some vents or louvers or something like that, to where you need to feed that film as far into the part as possible, and that's where feeding that part more into that film instead of going straight down or even at that 45-degree angle may become necessary. So number 5 is going to be jigging up the part so then that way you can get multiple items in one dip. A lot of the times you may be doing single off parts and that's perfectly fine, but whenever you start getting into production jobs or maybe you're doing just multiple parts at one time, definitely making the jig for the parts to be dipped is going to make it a lot more efficient, a lot more easier, and you're also going to maximize your profit whenever you make something like that. So definitely don't be afraid to make jigs whenever you have multiple pieces. That's the top 5, but also I'm going to give you guys another bonus one. So the bonus is going to be definitely make sure that you don't have hesitation lines in your parts. And so a lot of that will come from overactivation, but you've got to be really steady with your dips. And so even though you do have the hesitation lines, you definitely want to make sure that you're maximizing how you're dipping the part into the water, as well as making sure that you're not stuttering or moving it like this. Of course, that's really bad, but moving it like this as you're going down into the water, because that's going to create waves, which is also going to create hesitation lines. So that way, whenever you pull it out of the water, you're going to get all these lines that are not going to look like the pattern should. And of course, the customer's not going to be happy, so which means you're going to have to redo it. So definitely make sure that you've got a really nice and smooth and steady dip going all the way down into the water. You want to be as fluid as possible whenever you're going down into the water, nice and smooth, and that will create the best dip, of course, without any hesitation lines if it is activated correctly. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below. Love to hear from you on anything hydrographics related, as well as let me know what your thoughts are on any of the techniques that I may have missed, or if you've got one that you definitely think needs to be in this list, definitely let me know. Also, if you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips and tricks on anything hydrographics related. Also, check out the website. The website has tons of information on anything that you would need for your hydrographics, from training to equipment to, of course, products and anything like that. The website is your go-to place for all things hydrographics. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.